Welcome to the short Madman review of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. No spoiler, finished the game on hard and took me about 15 hours with cutscenes and lots of location replays to get through it non-lethally and without being spotted. Review key was provided. Usually my reviews are much longer with plenty of details, but this time around I have no time. Have to jump onto another game quickly, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is an old game anyway. This remake is the same as the original pretty much, just a graphic overhaul in a new engine with revised controls. Metal Gear Solid is a very short game, but it has tons of replayability. Basically, the way to think about it is like one big mission that rewards at the end with a score and rewards. Plenty factors in determining how one did. Times spotted, people killed, time taken, saves made, how many continues, and many more. It's one of those games that lives by what I preach, and that is quality per minute, you camouflaged bastards. Amount of details that go into Metal Gear Solid is on a ridiculous level. Enemy AI is some of the best you'll see, because we can play many tricks on them, like fooling them with cardboard boxes, setting hornets on them, throwing dirty magazines they are going to read which makes them distracted, and plenty more. Also, shooting them is so satisfying because of great character models, hit feedback, bullet wounds. Only thing that is missing are dismemberments. Calling people on codec frequently results in unique conversations, especially in certain locations and after certain events.
A provision storehouse is where the enemy. So if you happen to blow up a provision storehouse, the enemies in that area won't be able to get in. Spetsnaz are people too. They gotta eat, or they might pass out more easily or lose their concentration. Who knows? They'll probably be basically. If you get rid of a provision storehouse,
by destroying a provisions warehouse, you can cut off the food supply to enemies in the. It may be worthwhile.
Boss fights are fantastic, with tons of small and major secrets. For example, the end boss can die of old age if you set the clock on your platform for 7 days ahead. Using Cold War camo in the Shagohod chase sequence results in soldiers not shooting Snake, which helps for a non-lethal playthrough. Making the Fear eat rotten food is going to stop his stamina regen. Then there's ways to play: pure stealth, ninja killing spree, non-lethal stealth, all-out massacre, and all those methods that can be enhanced with the arsenal of camouflage gear with specific properties and special weapons. Also, Deluxe Edition can go fuck itself for looking couple nice camouflage suits behind paywall. Can people stop paying for goddamn Deluxe Editions and stop pre-ordering? Buying these scams motivates publishers to cut content from the game and sell you back for increased price. It's a scam. But I digress. Another incredible detail is the CQC. Things we can do with CQC are extraordinary. Taking human shields, interrogating enemies, holding them up, choking them out. And it's so damn fun throwing enemies around. Never gets old.
Answer me. The door will open with frequency 146.95. What?
Only thing I wish they'd improve in Delta is the basic combo that Snake does. 1-2 and low kick combo. Nothing wrong with it, but I would love to see different animations when attacking from different angles and different combos when holding only a knife. Thankfully, CQC throws have additional animations, which is really nice. Then the locations, absolutely perfect. Small locations that have loot dispersed, usually in corners where it's toughest to get to. Plenty of ways to hide as well. Enemies patrolling extensively, but also giving small pockets of room to navigate through if careful. On higher difficulties, remaining stealthy requires very precise movements and paying attention to a lot of stuff. Then we come to the story and characters. It's still unmatched in my opinion. Story throughout the whole Metal Gear Solid franchise is incredible. Snake Eater is the origin story of sorts. Amount of lore and details the game has for its characters and backstory events is stupid. And it's all interesting because characters in this game are incredible, so you want to learn whatever you can about them. Trying to connect the dots because some things are left unanswered but given enough clues to come to a logical conclusion. There's a lot of cutscenes, so be prepared for that. Some could have been sped up and parts removed though. Other than that, the story and characters still hold up to this day with the highest commendation. It's a rare experience of twists and turns with high emotional connection to characters. At rare times, some dialogues and reactions can be a bit cringy and awkward now that I'm older, but those moments are very sporadic.
That boat is coated in the venom of the Brazilian wandering spider. Soon a most exquisite pain will engulf your entire body. Your limbs will be paralyzed, your lungs cease to draw breath. Eventually your heart will stop beating. But what fun would that be?
So now we get to the Delta version. I look at it this way. Great thing about remaking such a classic with modern graphics and staying true to the original is that it immortalizes the game. That is why I want every Metal Gear Solid remade with modern graphics if they are going to stay true to the originals like Delta Snake Eater does. During my lifetime these graphics and animations won't become obsolete and hard to look at. That's a big positive for these remakes. I still think Fox Engine is much better than Unreal though, but I guess Konami haven't continued developing it further or something, which might be the reason why they opted for the Unreal Engine 5. Unfortunately, I'm starting to see more and more why people hate this engine. First of all, I played on PlayStation 5 in performance mode and still had frequent frame rate issues. One of the methods that UI5 uses to combat low frame rate is dynamic resolution. I hate dynamic resolution with passion. If you don't know what it is, let me explain in layman's terms. Stay still and everything looks great. Move and everything looks like shit. I would much rather prefer stable non-dynamic resolution with lower fidelity than everything looking like shit most of the time with blurry details and texture pop-ins. Aside from immortalizing the game, another good thing about Delta is that it improves controls. New controls work really well and it makes Snake easier to control overall. That's really all I have to say in this review. It's more of an overview if anything else. Almost every Metal Gear Solid for me is at least 9 out of 10. This franchise is the reason why I started loving video games so much. It's the highest quality franchise in gaming history across the board in my opinion. Now whether $80 or euros is a fair price for this remake is a valid debate. I always subscribe to the theory that it's impossible to put a realistic price on a video game because it's only realistic to the buyer. Do I think it's too high for me? Yes. It's the same game after all with modern graphics and improved controls, so it's hard to justify such a high price. Doesn't help that they locked a bunch of suits in the deluxe edition too. What else is there to say aside that if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater yet, this is the way to do it now. Frame rate is going to be patched soon probably anyway, I hope so. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is a 10 out of 10 game for me, a masterpiece. I appreciate Delta immortalizing it because it's a big deal for me for the greatest franchise to live on with modern higher appeal graphics. When it comes to the Delta version, I would give it 8 out of 10. 1 score less because of deluxe edition uniforms and high price. Also 1 score less because of frame rate and dynamic resolution, which makes the game blurry and ugly at times. Patreon subscribes to our merch in the description if you want to help the channel further, and thanks for watching.